playgrounds of Phoenix exist. We see people gathering in large numbers with beautiful boats and bringing their families and actually taking advantage of such a beautiful place and such a wonderful day. And a lot of the conversations that's going on and in people's minds today is still dealing with the fact of what has been threatened to happen on July 1st, which is the shutdown of most of our economy through the FATCA situation that President Obama is planning on initiating, according to news, July 1st. People are asking, so what do we do? You know, we're all running to do the usual reaction. I mean, every time something is announced, everybody goes into their end of the world fear and paralysis. And it's like, okay, right now what you need to be doing is actually looking at how this will affect you. What effects will it have, particularly on you? Is it even going to succeed? Can the IRS actually entertain that it can control and manipulate the world? I mean, IRS to me represents the internal taxation situation that all Americans in the United States have to adhere to. And there's still many questions as to the validity of that. I mean, there have been all kinds of movements and people who have shown justifiable evidence that we need to abolish the IRS. So if we're still questioning its benefit to us as Americans and United States citizens, now we're going to impose its need for taxation upon people from other countries, companies who do not approve or do not agree with the IRS taxation, taking their business offshore and everything. Okay, to me, this is not the way that I would think intelligently that we need to handle it. In fact, I totally agree with a lot of people who are saying it looks like it's being shoved down our throats, as well as saying that we're trying to put it on and actually make other countries and other people's means of taxation begin to support our own. Now, again, along with that, am I happy that a lot of American companies are not carrying their share of the taxation that would help us free ourselves of some of our national debt? Okay, you know, there's multiple sides of this coin for sure. But one of the things that we as Americans need to do and look at is how we know about, you know, what do we know about? How knowledgeable are we at exactly what's happening? Pull your head out of the sand. Begin to read, thoroughly investigate what this is supposed to do. And in looking at it, you know, okay, we're still tumbling from this national insurance thing that was supposed to resolve everybody's problem with insurance, so that the haves and the have-nots are not in conflict and everybody's insured. That ended up a catastrophe and a mess, to say the least. Now we're looking at the fact that in order to deal with our national debt, of which seems to no one sensibly says, okay, you're going to have to cut back. And I want to commend our governor here in Arizona. And Janet Brewer actually put on to a lot of us here in Arizona some restrictions and had to cut back on some real uncomfortable things for a while to actually take care of some imbalances. That's intelligent to me. Okay, you look to see where the biggest drain of the economy is. You look to see how you can back that up or even shut it down for a while in order to get things back into a proper or an economically sound place. Will it bring some discomfort? Yes. And will we not be able to just foolishly spend or have the benefits of things we take so for granted? Like she had to shut down some parks and she had to shut down some of the roadside kind of places that we stop off when we're traveling. A lot of things that happen. But then she got things up and going. She put it back in place. You know, that to me is intelligent. Now, are we looking at that with this whole thing with the IRS and this FATCA? Okay, once we impose that every company that's doing any foreign manufacturing and stuff, and they're actually doing tax evasion is what it obviously is, okay, how legal are they in doing that? what was their primary reason to do that, and is it that they directly disagree with IRS being something that they need to be paid? Like I said, there was a whole lot of interest in abolishing IRS and taking care of federal tax, which actually benefits you as whatever state you live in. So I would say to you, if you're hearing this and you're getting you're caught up in a lot of the propaganda and the craziness that goes on, because everybody's got different views and perspectives on it. I've heard several myself, okay? So basically get on there and do your research. And what is it that you know is going to affect you? I mean, I've had people saying that's why I've been buying gold, for so long and everything. What makes you think that's going to be any good to you? That you've stashed away some gold. Okay, how do you even see that being negotiable for you? Say all of our banks are shut down, what's going to negotiate that for you? You're going to go around with your little coin patch and start weighing up how much the gold weighs, and if it's in exchange with whatever, we're going back to that? So all of us have to look at what this is and see what we see as a recoupable situation. To go out and turn all of the kind of business and companies and commerce that we have going with so many countries, and then start making sure that everybody who has anything to do with that, any offshore investments, any exchange in import-export, is all going to be affected. Look around, wake up, see how much of your world that's going to influence. And what I've seen worries me even more when I realize, guess who gets the most impactful result from this? The working man, the working status of our country. The expendables. So again, we're in a place that those who have the least to risk are the ones who will take the biggest impact. And unfortunately, beloveds, all the people I know in those places of decisions call you the expendables. You like that? I don't. So then we have to begin to say, okay, just when it all waters down and the impact hits and it goes shuddering through everything, where is the regular householder whose paycheck may be coming in through some manufacturing or any of these industries? And how do you truly feel about the IRS? What do you know about it? When you look at it as a foreign corporation that's actually working within our government field, how do you feel about that? So when I'm getting all these questions, my answer to all of you is get educated. You worry about nothing until you know what there is to concern yourself with. And the more you look into it, the more you have the ability to make some changes and to do something. Going against it, being against it, going out there being pro or con, that's such a waste of life and energy. Find out what it is that you wanted to go and stand there. Put your energy in that, market that, talk about that, be for that. You'll waste your energy going against what you're against, but put your energy wholeheartedly in what you want and see the difference that it makes. And then find other people that are supporting that. How many of you are actually talking to your elected officials? How many of you even know how to contact your elected officials? The addresses are on the internet. Start talking to them. Your senators, your governors, your representatives, your state representatives, your local representatives. You need to be asking your local representatives, how's this going to affect us locally? What about our community? What about our merchants? This is where you want to put your time right now, not sitting home chewing your nails and worrying or listening to all the propaganda that's on CNN and all of the news blasts, okay? And they're only going to talk about it at whatever level that the FCC is approving that they can talk about it. That means the government said what they could say. Okay, get off of it. Get out, get your head out of the sand, get your head out of the fog, get on the internet, read up on what you can find about it. I know that one of the people who are putting a tremendous amount of information out here is Ron Paul. And if you go to his website, you'll be able to pick up a whole lot of leads that takes you to others that you then can just keep going till you really have a fix on what's happening. Okay, as I sit here talking to you, this is the first week of May. July 1st is the timeline that this is supposed to go in effect. Go for it. Find out. Make sure that by that time you've made whatever difference you want to see happen. And I deeply appreciate that. And I thank you for being here with me. And enjoy this beautiful scenery. We'll be talking.